Thanks for joining today's webinar. In today's webinar, we will go over a certain feature in B1 iPayment. My name is Rosie Coronado, and as you know, B1 iPayment is a credit card solution for SAP Business One. iPayment is a very secure solution, and this is where you can process credit card transaction in a very, very simple way. And it's a very secure solution because B1 iPayment is PCI compliant. We only work with gateways. They are PCI compliant. Okay, and there's many options you have. You can do authorization on document level, on a batch level, and so on. Here on the bottom, you see the gateways we support. I think you guys can hear me now. And in today's session, we're gonna cover the feature how you can manage different authorization behavior for customers. You might know it already or you might not, because you actually can, in SAP with iPayment, override the default authorization and have a different behavior, maybe for different customers. And this is set up on the payment terms, so it's very flexible. Okay, so let me go into SAP Business One. And if I go to administration, add-on, you see I have my B1 iPayment installed here. If I click on this, you have the configuration screen. And as you might know, you have the General tab, Authorization, Settlement tab, Permission tab, and Alerts tab. On the General tab, the most important thing is you choose your gateway, which gateway you want to work with. And you see right here the ones I had listed on my slides. Okay. And when we go over to the Authorization tab, this is what we're going to talk about today. So you see right here on the Authorization tab, I have it set when I do a sales order, I want an authorization pop-up. Okay. So you can do automatic authorization or don't do anything. And you see you have an error reserved invoice I have checked. Also, I want to pop up here. Or I say here, don't do anything. And you see, I don't have delivery error, down payment invoice and error invoice checked. Because I don't do anything, but I would recommend you check that also, and I show you why. Because if you want to go back and maybe want to do a batch authorization on certain documents, and when you go right here under banking, credit card processing, batch authorization, you will not be able to choose those documents. Okay, I only see those two I have checked. So even if you don't do anything on that, I usually have it checked anyway, because once I go and say, okay, I want to do a batch authorization and I want to check all the deliveries, you will see them here on the drop down. Okay, this is what that means. I do get that question sometimes. Why don't I see my other documents here? What that means that you don't have it checked right here on the authorization configuration screen, even if I don't do anything. So you see right here, I'm going to do on a sales order. I show a pop-up. I don't do anything on the other documents at all. On the bottom, on the payment terms level, this is very important because you can say to iPayment, take the payment terms from the BP business partner level or take it from the document level. As you know, if you have a customer set up net 30, for example, and you do a document, it rolls over, automatically comes over to the document, which is great, but maybe you need to change sometimes the payment terms for whatever reason, and say to the customer, well, on this one, the customer asked for net 45. Then you just change it on the document level, okay? And it's the same with iPayment. I'm telling it for, okay, you want to look at the business partner level? So you always, no matter what you change it to on the document, iPayment looks on the business partner level. Or do you want to look it at the document level, which I'm going to keep it on the document level, and you will see why. Because I have this customer and they're always, I'm always authorizing on the sales order, for example. But on this one document, he's doing a huge purchase and he says, don't authorize it on the sales order level, authorize it on the delivery level. So you have to remember. But we can set up a payment term so the payment term does it automatically. And I will show you in a minute. So control sales orders approval, you can control the approval checkmark on the sales order. So if the sales order is authorized, it checks the approval button, and you can say always or only when it's fully authorized. That's your option. Automatic reauthorization, that's something if an authorization expires, okay, then the server component checks all the time and it sees an expired authorization, it does it automatically and reauthorizes it for you if you have this checked. Then we have the markup. Markup is something just for your safety. Okay, I want to mark it up. In my case, I have $100 because I'm going to get shipping. Usually shipping is between $50 and $100 to make sure the funds are there for the credit card. Okay, so I'm going to mark it up. That doesn't mean I'm going to charge the customer. You only charge what the invoice amount is, but this is for your safety. Authorization just checks and gives you a token back. Yeah, the funds are there for this transaction. And on the bottom, you see authorization expiration date 30 days. So that's up to you how you want to set it. I usually say talk to your to your gateway, what they usually set here. So make sure you match it up with your gateway. So this is your configuration, my general configuration. So what's going to happen when you have this set and you go and do a transaction? So let me pull up a business partner and let me pull one up. And you see, I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to do a sales order. I have my beautiful buttons here from the B1 usability package. I'm going to put in a sales order. Oops, where did it go? I put it in the back. Okay, I'm going to put in my delivery date and you see pop-ups here. This is all done with the usability package. Tells me right away for example, the balance of this customer. They're way over the balance, the credit limit. So I'm putting it here. And of course, you have the iPayment tab. Yes, you can change the configuration here if you want to, but I'm going to leave it as configured because this is what I do all the time, and I'm going to click Add. So I'm going to click Add, and you see my authorization pop-up comes up exactly like I told it on my configuration, and I can actually change my credit card here. I like the pop-up because you have the flexibility to change the credit card or split it between two credit cards. If you do automatic authorization, it does it. It doesn't give you the option right here to make a change, and it authorizes it. And you see right here, on the bottom, I have my markup, $100. And you also see I cannot touch it. I cannot touch the $100 because if I go back here, I have it set on my configuration. I want you to see that. I have it set on my configuration. Allow edit of markup at authorization. I don't have it checked. That means you cannot touch it. I have it set. I'm the one in control and I don't want the users to change the markup. So it's only $100. I cannot change it and I'm going to click authorize it. Okay. So now it's authorized. You see it right here. It says authorized. You go to the iPayment tab and it's authorized. Perfect. So now you say, okay, but I have a customer. I have in some cases, let's take my example from earlier. I have some cases they really don't want me to authorize the card unless the delivery is done. Okay, then authorize the card. So how are you going to do that? So you have to do manually, think about it. You go to the iPayment tab, change it around here, don't do anything. Then on the delivery, you have to think about it. Okay, I have to authorize this manually because my general setup is don't do anything. So you can do that. So what you can do, so you set up a payment term. If I go to administration and I go to setup, and I go to business partner, they are my payment terms. So let's create a payment term. So let me call it 001, just for whatever reason, and go to document date, and let's say this is 30 days. Just set up a payment terms the way you want it, okay? But then I'm gonna right click on that term and I say iPayment configuration. So you see my default, so the iPayment configuration comes over. So I'm going to go to say I have one configuration already set up. This is my configuration I have already set up. So I'm going to say, okay, don't do nothing on the sales order like here, but I want to have the pop-up on the delivery. Okay, and I'm also gonna say I want an authorization markup for $200, and I want the user to edit it. So this looks different than the one from the default configuration. And I also can say exclude from batch wizard. You know, the batch authorization, I'm gonna leave it. I wanna have it included. So I'm gonna click update and I'm gonna click add. So this customer, let's go back here as a sales order. Let's do a good one, a new one. And I'm going to go to MaxiTech again. And you know the MaxiTech has they have the credit card payment terms. If I click back here, it looks all good. If I go to iPayment configuration, you see it's the default one because nothing is set up on these payment terms. Okay, so I'm going to go out. And I'm gonna say, okay, they want a different, they want me to authorize on the delivery, for example. So I'm gonna change it on the document level. Also remember, if I change it here and you have on the configuration set, let me go down here again. You have on the configuration set on BP level, it wouldn't do it. It wouldn't do it. It still would look what you have on the business partner master data, okay? But I have it set on document level. So I'm going to change it to this one. And let's go drill back here, the one we just set up. And let's look here, double check iPayment configuration. Oops, it switched back for some reason. Let me go right here, show pop-up. And for some reason it did. And I'm going to click update. And okay, let me go back one more time because it should keep it. I must have not clicked something earlier. There we go. Okay, so now it's attached to this payment term. So I'm gonna go in here and put in an item. I'm gonna put in my delivery date like we are used to it. And then I'm gonna click add. And you will see it's not gonna do anything. It's gonna add the sales order. Didn't do anything. Because it looks at the payment terms. Now let me go ahead and go to delivery. And it does it automatically. So it looks at my payment term because the payment term came over from the sales order. As you know, if I click here, there is my payment term. I get the pop-up. And you see also I have the $200 markup and I'm going to authorize it. Okay. So I'm going to go in here. I want to show you something else. I'm going to say allow to edit markup. Okay, let me see if it took it because it didn't take it earlier to double check. There we go. So it's there. So it's all good. So let's do another one. I want to go in here. I'm going to do a sales order. So I'm with Maxitech and I'm going to put in another sales order just for you to see. Let me pull in, and I'm going to keep the default payment terms, or if I go here, I'm going to change it. It's credit card, but maybe they are net 30 days, and I'm going to add it. So because net 30 days does not have their own iPayment configuration, it takes the default one. And this is exactly what we want. It takes it and they're $100 markup and you cannot touch it. But now we're going to do another one. I want to do one more example for you. And I'm going to do Maxitech. And let me do one more item right here. And I'm going to change it again to our payment term we customized. Okay, I'm going to click here to accounting. Okay, this one, they want to do it different. It's 001. And I'm going to add it. And it's done. It's away. So you don't have to think about it. Okay, you don't have to think about it. Okay, I gotta do this and this and that. Set it up the way you want it on the payments term. And now I go to delivery. And if I click add again, of course, it will give me the pop-up because I'm looking at the document level. And the one thing I wanted to show you, I didn't have checked earlier, I can edit the markup. So that edit markup, you can say, okay, on these payment terms, I'm allowed to, because actually I'm going to mark it up $250 on this one for whatever reason. And I'm going to click authorize. And it's done. And it's done. Here you see authorize. Okay. So that's what I wanted to show you. Use the payment terms to be flexible. Use the payment terms on the document level and say, okay, if I use these payment terms, it's going to behave different, my authorization, because for whatever reason the customer asked me to, or it's like a process. You have a customer group, they need to have a different authorization process than all the other customers. So you can use the payment terms for that. Okay, so I hope that was clear enough. Again, you have your default authorization up here with iPayment configuration. This is your default authorization, the way you have it set up here, but you have the flexibility to go into payment terms and let's see, and then right click on any payment terms and click on it and can configure it with iPayment. Okay, you see right here, $200, allow edit. I didn't have this checked earlier. Okay, and if you don't want it anymore on this payment term, you just remove it. Okay, you just remove it. Okay, and if you go to one payment term, the one that have nothing set up, you're not gonna have anything there. What it's gonna do, it's gonna default to the one, and this happened to me earlier. I didn't update it correctly. It just defaults to the default. Okay, it just looks at that. Unless you tell iPayment, the system, no, when I use these payment terms, I want to have different behavior on the authorization, on the documents, on the markup, and also if I can edit it, okay, or I want to exclude it from batch wizard. Okay, so I hope this session really gave you some idea how you can set this up, how flexible it can be, how you authorize your documents with iPayment or per customer, because all you do is just use the payment terms for those customers. If you don't have questions, but questions come up, please feel free to email us. Always use our sales at boyumit.com or support@boyumit.com. Okay, it's not on here. But instead of sales, click support. We try to have really quick turnaround for you. Or if you have any other questions, if you need to see the whole system, the whole solution, which is a wonderful solution, let us know. we'll be more than happy to demo it to you. I hope you enjoyed this session today. I hope I showed you a feature you might didn't know, or now you know better how to use it. And watch out for more webinars from us. We try to have them pretty much every Thursday. Go to our website or just go on there and Google Boyum webinar series and sign up for them. Okay, and if there are any topics you would like to see and we haven't covered on a webinar or you cannot find online, please let us know. Write to sales@boyumit.com and say, I am looking for a video with this topic. Let us know, because we really want to make sure you find everything you need online. Okay? Thank you for joining today and have a wonderful day.